Hi again, it's Joe, and we are going to talk about our last division lesson today. And this is going to be just going to bring an end to division. We'll look at division again and other topics, but as far as the pure number crunching of dividing using the long division way, this is going to be the last lesson on that, okay? So I know that in your package you'll see a page that says easy two-digit division. And I made these questions up so that they would be uh, not too difficult, but still be able to address the fact that I want you to be able to divide by just one more than a single digit. So I've got a couple examples that aren't on that page because I didn't want to use up all the examples. So the first one I'm going to do is 238 divided by 17. So 238 divide by 17. I see that my title's in the way here, so I'm going to just take it off. So there you have the title, Easy Two-Digit Division. Take it off just so I have more room. So here we have the problem. We have to take this number 17, this whole thing. Ooh, none of us know our 17 times tables, I wouldn't think. So we have 17 into 238, also known as 238 divided by 17. And we're going to crunch this out, okay? So does 17 go into 2? No, it doesn't. Does 17 go into 23? It certainly does. How many times? Well, multiply 17 by 2, you get 34. That's too much. So it only goes in one time. So where do we put the 1? Well, it didn't go into a 2, but it went into the 23. And so that's where we put our 1, right up there. Now we do what we did before. We go 1 times 17, and that's 17. Okay, our parts are a little bit more complicated than they were before, aren't they? So I know some of you will cross off the 3 and borrow the 2 and do all that stuff on the inside. I just go over here if necessary, 23 minus 17, and do all that necessary stuff. Whoops, sorry, not cross off the 3, but cross off this 2, turn it into a 1, and make that a 13. And then my answer is 6. See, if I were to do all that under here, that would make a really big mess. You'd have to write awfully large in order to do that. So this is where I like to get my students to leave space off to the side so that they can do their rough work. So 23 minus 17 is 6. Okay, so we bring down the 8. Oh my goodness. How many times does 17 go into 68? Well, what we're going to have to do here is go over to our side again and try. So, you know what you could do? You could take a guess. Because I'm used to this, I know what the answer would be, but I'm going to take a guess. How about 5? Let's see what 5 times 17 is. Well, 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 1 is 5, 85. Uh-oh, that's too big. 5 is too big. What about a 4? 4 times, what are we multiplying by here? 17. 4 times 7 is 28. Oh, I think we might have it. 4 times 1 is 4 plus the 2 is 6. Ah, perfect. Dead on. Okay, so that means we figured out it's got to be a 4. So it's 4 up there. So we already figured out that 4 times 17 was 68. And there we have it. So 238 divided by 17 is equal to 14. And this work over here, absolutely critical. If you don't show that work, then I can't tell how you're learning. Okay, so please, 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 please show that work. And we'll go on, we'll do one more here. And this one looks like a bit of a monster, but it's not that bad. 1,118. 1,118 divided by 86. Okay, let's do it. Does 86 go into 1? Nope. How about 11? Nope. How about 111? How many times does it go into 111? Well, let's think of this for a second. 80, 2 times 80 is 160. I want you to think this through. Really, if you have 111 and you have 86, you're only going to get 186 out of that. So 86 goes into 111 one time only. Okay, so 1 times anything is itself. So 86 over here. Make sure you line everything up correctly. And instead of doing all the messy work in there, let's do it over here. Sorry, that's supposed to be a 1. So we're going to go like this. We're going to drop that to 0 and make that an 11. 11 minus 6 is 5. And 10 minus 8 is 2. Oh my goodness. 25. Is this 25 smaller than the 86 like I told you before? This number always has to be smaller than that one, and it is. Okay, well, it looks pretty scary, but let's keep going, okay? 258. Wow. How many times does 86 go into 258? Let me just show you how I think this went through. I'm going to think of this as 80. I could think of it as 90 as well, but I'm just going to think of it as 80. So if I have 80 times 3, what's that going to give me? That's going to give me 240. And that looks pretty darn close to 258. I'm gonna try 86 times 3 now. 86 times 3. 3 times 6 is 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 8 is 24. Plus 1 is 25. Look at that. Perfect. So it looks like 3 is the number we want. Go up there like that. So 3 times 86, we already have done that over here. And the answer down here is 258. Beautiful. Okay, I'm not interested in you doing questions that are going to take you an hour for each question. That's not my point in this. But I do want you to understand place values. This is a 13, not 130. All right, and so the lesson that I just did, again, matches this page here. Easy two-digit division. The answers are on the back. And as far as pure number crunching with addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division goes, that is it for that, okay? Next videos, I'm going to give you sort of an applied type problem, and it's called Basic Statistics, and that's going to be good. So looking forward to that, and we shall see you on the next video.